And we're going to take this out of cash. And we're going to bring down our balances. Now remember that the reason that we put it down in withdrawals is because the initial investment never changes. We need to have that initial investment, the record of the initial investment. But against the money that he's put in and that he's made, he's now decided that I'm going to pay my electric bill for my home. Everything else comes down. On the 20th, here he's making some money because it says he catered a wedding and received cash for $1,800. This author is not keeping up with the times. Because how much do you pay for a wedding if you're catering? Depending on whether you're having chicken, beef, are you feeding the kids, yes or no? Does it include the cake? Because just a cake can be what? Over $2,000. Right? How do I know? I was a padrino recently. So it went ahead and was some money. And I thought, this cake better be good. I want to taste it. It better be good. It better be moist. It was. So again, catered a wedding. So again, he catered a wedding for $1,800. What does that mean? Which two accounts? Yes, cash and catering revenue. Is everybody getting this? Are we understanding what's going on? Yes. We okay? Kind of, sort of, but not really? $1,800. So we're going to bring our balances down. Now, another way of doing this, just to interject here, if you don't want to use Excel, some of us don't. I had some students that preferred to print out the worksheets and write them out. That's acceptable as well. As long as you go ahead and give me your homework before the end of the week. That means that if you want to turn it in via paper, you need to turn it in by Friday. A lot of them wanted to go ahead and do it via paper first and then transfer that information into the spreadsheet. That's allowable as well. As long as I get your homework, I'm good. Okay? So on the 25th, what's happening now? Bought additional equipment for $1,200. Maybe now he needs to make sure that he's got something that's going to help him transfer wedding cakes over. Some apparatus, we don't know. So what two accounts?
Debit equipment and credit.
Correct. What does that mean? We're going to increase the equipment account because we've got more equipment now. Okay? And we're going to credit or decrease cash. Go ahead, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my gosh. On account. What would it be?
Accounts payable.
Accounts payable. Good job. Good save. So we're still going to do what? Debit equipment and actually
Credit.
There you go. Credit accounts payable. We're going to increase how much money we owe. Bring our balances over. The next one, 28. Rent expense. Due but unpaid. So it was due of $650 of the rent expense for his office. Unpaid. Paying anything in the future. That means that we're going to debit what? And? No, we're going to debit what first? We're going to increase, it says, a rent expense. But you're correct, it's going to increase both. But we're going to do our debiting on our rent expense, on our expense side. See? Expense of $650. And then we're going to credit our accounts payable because we're going to pay it sometime in the future. The last transaction. The last transaction that we had is we paid on November the 30th a supplies expense, and it was $300. What two accounts? And paid. Cash. Paid cash. So we're going to debit or we're going to increase our expense, and we're going to credit our cash. We're going to decrease it because we're going to pay it out. Dun, dun, dun. Now, it's important to keep bringing down your balances because this is what we're going to be using for the month of November to create our wonderful statements. So we need to remember to bring down our balances. So bring down our balances, and we're going to then check what our balances are going to be before we begin doing our financial statements. So we should have 1840, 250, nothing changed here, nothing changed here. Our capital continued, 160 for the accounts payable, no. Withdrawal. Then we have here the revenue, and then we have our expense. Okay? Now, when we add 18,490, 250, and 550, that gives us how much for this side of the equation?
4,000.
Yes. See that? 18, 250, 550, 24,240 on this side of the equation. Guess what? All of this should equal the same thing. So the 2950, 20,150, $3,600, and the 2150 should total up to what? If you add them all together, and don't cheat, yes, make sure that they do add up all together. Add those 4. 5. And that equals,
Subtract right now, right?
what? No, we're not going to subtract anything. We're going to go ahead and add everything. All of this. Oh, yeah, we do. Remember, for the equation, hold on. You're right. We have to subtract the withdrawal and the expenses. If not, you're going to be over. So you're going to add 2950, 2,000, and your revenue. And then you're going to subtract your 160 and your 2150. You're correct, Caesar.
Teacher, why do you have to subtract those?
Why do we subtract? Because it what? We took them out of the cash, correct. It's money out. Okay? The reason why is because we took them out of cash over here. I'm sorry. I know, sorry. So you got this side of the equation okay, right?
Got those three.
These three we add, okay? Our assets, we add together. Now, for the other side of the equation, all right, we're going to add the 2950, 20,000, and the $3,600, but that's not our total yet. We're going to get that first, what that is. Then we have to subtract the 160 of the withdrawal that he took out of cash, and then the expenses that we've already taken out of cash as well. And once we do that, we end up with $24.90. Okay? 24. Eso. And the reason that we do that is because we've already shown that we took the 160 and the 2150 out of cash in the previous transactions. Okay? The only reason that we're showing the amounts here is because later on we have to record, so how much were my expenses total? How much did we withdraw total? How much did I make total? So he can see at a glance, this is how much my expenses were, and this is why I have only $1,800 or $18,000 in the account. See how that makes it easier? And then he gets to see, oh yeah, I took $160 out of the account. And that's why I have this total. Because we did it on the previous transactions. Okay? Dun, dun, dun. Are we okay? Are we feeling a little better? Okay. Now, we're going to go to Worksheet C. Worksheet C is the income statement. Income statement. And by definition, the income statement only has what in it? Income. Income. Revenue. And revenue and how do I know if I made money? There you go, expenses. How much money I brought in and how much money I ended up dishing out. How much do I have left over? That's how I know if I made money or not. So we have the revenue of the catering service, right? So we go back to our spreadsheet, and that shows us what is the balance or what is the total there. How much money did I make? See why these balances are so important under catering? See why it's so important